Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. In the today's video, we are going to continue our last tutorial. Into the last tutorial, you can see that we have created this login frame design. Here you can see that, and design of registration frame also. And in the today's tutorial, I am going to tell you about how to create the back-end code, back-end logic behind that submit button. Here you can see that is this data going to be inserted into the MySQL database which I have used. So let's get started. So here you can see that the project structure or the packaging structure I have explained you into the last tutorial, that is which package is for what purpose, that I have tell you. So now here you can see that we require I am going to create one class which is named as connection provider. Into that there is a get connection method, which method returns the connection object to us establishing the connection to the database. So let me use that package. Just right click on that package and click on new Java class. I am going to create that new Java class. So and that class name should be, you can see that, connection provider, that I am going to write here. So just click on finish button, and here you can see that in front of you the class will be created. And into that class, first of all let me suppose import the package of our Java, which is SQL package, which is going to use for the connection to the database. So let me write import java.sql.star, and here I am going to create one variable with connection variable, which is the static connection variable which we require. I give name as connection con variable, and here now I have to create public method, public static, which is the static method, get connection method that I am going to create, and which returns the connection object, so that its return type is connection. So I am writing like this. This method returns the establishing the connection to the database and returns a connection object to us, so that we can use that connection object throughout our project. So let me write that get connection method. Okay, now into that method, first of all let me return that connection object, and then into that into this method I am going to first of all I have to write the try catch block, that is I have to catch the exception whatever, because there should be exception, there will be the exception caught, that which is the class not found exception. So I am going to write catch exception E, and I am going to write stack trace also, E dot print stack trace. Now into that try block I am going to loading the driver, which is the MySQL driver. So by method class.forName is the method by which you can load the driver. So into the MySQL the driver name is com.mysql.jdbc.driver, and this is the different into the different databases. So now I am going to create the connection, that is I am going to call the get connection method of the MySQL of the database, which is the Java method, which is located into the Java's SQL package. So connection con variable and driver manager dot get connection, and this method takes the three arguments. The first argument is a connection URL, which is in my case jdbc colon mysql colon / localhost, that is host name, and slash I have to write the database name, which database I am going to use. So here I am going to use the login data, which we are going to create login data database, so that you can understand quickly. Okay, so I have get the connection. Here you can see that into that connection variable I have get the connection, and that connection is written by the method. Here you can see that get connection, our get connection method. So whenever we are calling this method, the connection object, every time it will be created and every time it will be returned. So we don't require that. So that I am adding the condition. Here you can see that if connection equal to null, that is if the connection variable is null, and then only you have to create the connection by loading the driver and getting the calling that get connection method. So that's it all out. You can see that our connection provided method, connection provided class work has been done here. So now I am going to create the database. So for that purpose I am opening the XAMPP server and starting my MySQL. Go to the Chrome browser, and into the Chrome browser you have to write like to localhost phpMyAdmin. By doing that, you can see that you will be able to see the interface or editor of the MySQL database which I am going to use. So I have tell you we are going to create the database which is named as you can see that login data. So just click on new, and I am going to just give this name login data. Take this name and let create the database with that name. Let click on create, and here you can see that database is going to be created. And into that database you can see that we have to create the table such that into that table the name, email, password and confirm password should be going to be inserted. So that I am going to create the number of columns 5, because the first field will be user ID. I am going to give name as users table name, and click on go. Here you can see that the very first field, which is the ID, that is user ID, I have going to write here user ID, and which is the primary key of our table. Here you can see that, and which is automatically incremented. So automatically incremented from the 1. Here you can see that. So just click on that a auto increment checkbox. So our second field is, you can see that name, that is I am going to write as suppose name, or and that varchar 100. So I am going to take the value. Into the similar way I am going to write it for our remaining fields. So here you can see that I have written like this. Okay, now table name is given. Okay, now you have to click on that save button, and the table is going to be created in front of you with our specified you can see that fields: user ID, name, email, password 1 and password 2. So let's come back to our NetBeans IDE, and into here you have to this is a registration frame which is the front end actually. And now as we have created the database, so I am going to create the entity also, that is user entity we require. So I am going to write name as users. Suppose entity means it is a as like it acts as a database table entity, so that I am going to create. So here you can see that I am going to create the same to same variable as we have created in database, that is user ID, and another one is name, which is the of the string data type. And similarly I am going to create the email and the password also. So let's create it. So here you can see that I have created that. Okay, now we require is constructor. So to add the constructor you have to just right click and click on insert code button, so that and click on that constructor. Just select all that fields, and you have to click on just generate, and the constructor with that field is going to be created in front of you. Now I am going to create another constructor. Into that I have select all, but except the user ID. So click on generate, and here you can see that now we require so getters and setters. So into the similar way just click on that getter and setter, and click on just select all and click on generate. So our entity, in this way our entity is going to be created completely. Okay, so we have successfully created the user entity. Now we require a method which insert the data into the database. So for that purpose I am going to create the DAO method, which is the user DAO method. So let me right click on DAO login register.dao and create one class. Just right click on it, click on new, click on Java class, and here you have to write user DAO, which is the class name. Here you can see that. Into that I am going to create a method. First of all, let me create before that we require the connection object here, so that I have to import the SQL package. Import java.sql.star, and also now I am taking the variable connection variable, which can be private. In this case, private connection, and I am going to create the constructor by using this connection variable. Okay, so insert code, click on constructor and select that and click on generate. So constructor is going to be created. So now I am going to create a method which take the data from our front end, which is registration frame, and into that and store it into the user entity, and that object is going to be store that object into the database. So let's create it. Public void save user, I am going to name it as, and this method take the argument, take the user entity, that is object of user entity. So here you can see the users entity which we have just created, and returns, it doesn't return anything, it only gives the user object. Take the argument as user object, and let me add the try catch block here also, so that exception can be caught. And similarly I am going to stack trace it also. So into the try block I am going to write the method, I am going to create a query, which insert the data into the database. So let me create insert into our data, our table name is users, and we have to insert the data like name. So let me write that name, email, password 1 and password 2 we are going to insert. As you can see, the into the database is there. So yes, I am doing like this. And values, into the string I am going to write a placeholder, and then we are going to further you are going to replace that placeholders with the appropriate values. Okay, so now I am going to create the prepare statement instance. Here you can see that, and which take the connection object, which is the SQL connection object, and it prepared the statement for our query. Here you can see that, which we have written here. So here you can see that this connection object we are going to use, and yes, it is yes, PSMT. And now by make use of that prepare statement instance, we are going to replace the placeholders by appropriate values, that is PSMT dot set string. The first value I am going to replace. So here click on one, and which value I am going to replace is the user object, that is user entity dot, we are going to use get name or get name here. First of all, user dot get name, and next value is user dot get email, that is we are storing the we have taken the details from the front end, store it into the user entity, and I am going to just take the argument of that take the argument as a object of user class, user entity class, and just I am going to store it that complete object into the database. So here you can see that I am going to write here password 2. So now I have to store this data which I have got, you can see that into the database. So how do I? So I am just clicking psmt.execute query. I have to execute update, execute update we have to done. And here you can see that by just doing this, our data is going to be inserted into the database. So first of all, let me tell you, so how do I get, let me create the one method, that is, let me create one variable, flag variable, which is initially a false, and which will be the return after execute successfully data inserted. I am going to write it as a true, and let's change the return type as a boolean of this method, and let's return that flag so that we can understand, you can see that, so that we can understand whether the data is going to be inserted or not. We can get it by just returning this flag value, by just knowing this flag value, that is, that flag value going to be true if and only if data is going to be inserted into our database. Otherwise it is a initially it is a false, and we will be going to return as it is as a false values. Okay, so now this method is completed. Here you can see that the database insertion method we have created, which is going to be written like this, and okay, so we have completed this. Now just thing is remaining that the front end work, that is I have to call that methods from this front end. So let's change the variable name. Here you can see that, so that we can understand it quickly. Here you can see that I have to understand us quickly properly, I am just changing the variable name of that text boxes, and a similar way you can see that I have created. Let's go to action perform method, and into that method, that is I have to create a variables, that is to store the data which I have getting from the text boxes. So this is the name variable I have given, text name dot get text, and similar way I am going to accept the email and the password 1 and password 2 also, and this data which I have accepted, that I am going to store into the user entity which I have created, user class, and that object of that class pass to the save user method into the user DAO class. Okay, so let me write some like this, string password 2, and which is from text was 2 dot get text, so now I am going to create a user DAO object, that is user DAO class which we have created to save this data. So let's user DAO object, and new keyword you have to write here, so, and which take the connection object, that is connection object from our method, which from our helper connection provider class, connection provider dot get connection, user dot text that now here new keyword is rest, so let's write it, okay. Now there is now you can see that I am going to call the save user method of our user DAO, but before that we have to set this data which we have extracted from our front end to the user object, the entity which we have going to be transferred from this to our database. So let's create the users object, the table, the entity which we have created and stored. We have created the constructor, like you can see that into the users we have created the constructor without user id, which is going to be here, and setting that value to this user object. Now the all data is going to be placed into that user object, and now I am going to call the save user method of user.dao, and I am going to pass this user object which we have set here and into that save user method. So here you can see that. So let me add the if else, so that I am going to know that if the data is going to be inserted or not. So if all the things works properly, that is if the save user method works, I am going to write a message dialog, as you can see that joption.append.show message dialog, and I am going to write into that message as data inserted successfully. I am going to write as a data inserted successfully. Here you can see that, and or else I am going to write the there is something problem, or there should be there is something error. Let me write like that, something went wrong. Okay, so I am going to write like this. Okay, so here you can see that we have successfully coded our registration frame code, that is all the front end and back end also. So let me run it first, and after running we will be knowing that. So first of all, before running you need the MySQL connector. Here you can see that you needing the MySQL connector, which you can get from the internet. Here you can see that, and which you have to add into our project. So let go to the internet, go to the Google, or let's search download MySQL connector, and after doing that you can see that we will be get a website. Here you can see that MySQL connector, we have to download it from that website. Don't worry, I will put the link into the description so that it will be easy. Just select the operating system, as you can see that platform independent you have to choose, and here just download the zip archive file. Here you can see that, and I have already downloaded it, and I have, you can see that now just start my download. I have already downloaded it and extracted that zip file and added this MySQL connector to our project. So how to add it? So let me tell you that. Just right click on your project, go to the properties of your project, and here into the libraries tab you have to add this class path, add to this class path, which is add jar or folder, which is option is there. So I have just added already. So here you can say that you can there is already it is. So just cancel it now. Okay, so after adding the MySQL connector successfully, now your code will be work. Let's run it. Right click on it and click on run button. It's so easy. So just wait for some time and it will be appear in front of you. So here you can see that the registration frame, which is the front end I say, is in front of you. So I am just going to add some data into that. So let's add the email ID, password, very simple password, and let's click on that submit button and let's see what happen. So here you can see that the message box is appear and it says that data inserted successfully. So that we have successfully registered and we have successfully coded our back end of our project also. So let's refresh the database and let's see the data is inserted or not. And here you can see that the data is inserted successfully, whichever data I have added into database. So this is the registration module which we have created completely. So here you can see that we have completely created the database. So let's into the next video we will be going to create the login module, that is I am going to validate the login details. So till there, do subscribe to Code with Wiki YouTube channel, and thank you so much.